clean of guards and just like roam the area free, while a lot of players will just go the ghost way and just sneak through everything. So Jonathan here, who will play like a hybrid, where he plays a little aggressive and a little stealth.
So can you help me out with the setting here? What kind of city are we in? Who is this guy? What are we doing?
Northcrest Manor.
So it's called the City, which is a very unique name here. Right now, the population is kind of revolting against the Baron's iron-fisted regime.
Looks like.
And Garrett is taking an opportunity to infiltrate the manor during this revolt and to steal a precious family heirloom called the Heart of the Lion.
So we have kind of a Robin Hood type character here. We've got the rich versus the poor, and we have some incredible graphics. So you guys have really gone a long way in setting the scene and building the story. Is this a linear story, or is this a lot about choices you make as a player?
So the game is a lot about the options of how you deal with scenarios. Thief was never a branching story kind of game, so we wanted to have a very strong story, a lot of options of how you want to progress and how you want to deal with situations. And we kind of leave the moral choices up to the player. Do you want to steal from the poor? Well, that's up to you, but they still have a little money, so do you want to steal from the poor? Do you want to steal from the rich? He doesn't really discriminate. He just kind of goes with it. That's kind of what makes, gives him, get him going.
So we see him here. He's got to shoot out these lights. He can move. A lot of games are working on different dynamics, how to move in the dark, kind of a different visual appearance. I'm thinking of like Batman and Arkham, where he's got the... Do we have a sort of different mode we can slip into here? What are his abilities? What really sets him apart as a hero?
So one thing that's a very big cornerstone on this game is being concealed from you. It's a very dark and gloomy kind of game. What you see in the bottom left corner is the light gem. The light gem tells you whether or not you're concealed from you of the guards, whereas you also have in the edges of the screen like a shroud, and it helps indicate that when you're also in shadow. So it's not a binary system. It is a very complicated system with a lot of sensories. For example, the ground has different properties. So if you run over grass, it's going to make less sound than if you run over rock and over water. So that's a very big part of what makes this game about all the nuances within the stealth part of it. So now he's going to grab a body and put him in the shadow, which means patrolling guards will have less chance of catching.
Better coverage of the gardens from the balcony.
Wow, so this is so particular here, where you're actually... I'm sorry, I'm still kind of amazed because I've only seen sort of the things you've put out so far. I haven't really had a chance to watch this gameplay. And this is in depth. I mean, did you guys go on location? Did you guys get to go anywhere fancy to build all this? What was your role in kind of building this game?
So level design is about composition of the experience. So it's about like where do you place the guards, what is the setting, how does the graphics, the audio, and everything come together. When the player is traversing through the space, do you see these opportunities that he can use? Like here you can see these two guards talking about what the events that are occurring throughout the game. And here we're going to have him sneak up on him and he's going to steal. He won't even see what's happening here. So one thing that's very new with the Thief franchise is we added the dash, a small swoop where you can go between shadows really quickly. So this helps you maneuver when you're in a fortified position. So you can swoop backwards, forward, sideways, all kinds of directions to really encourage like a good pacing variation. And here you can see that the guards are standing on a flammable area, so we could use the fire here to ignite them and create a kind of a disturbance and set these guys on fire, but I think we're going to go with a more discreet, stealthy approach. So one thing that's very important for us to mention is this focus abilities, all these special things you can do, is optional. It is not part of mandatory for the game. It is something you can disable completely through the menu system. So you can play like the old school mode, which just means there's no icons, there's no anything.
Gonna go with your gut.
Exactly. You just want to be able to read the AI, how they react to you, and listen to it. That's awesome for them. But if your kid's screaming in the background and you want some extra help, there are like icons to help you see the AI reaction and so on. So some people might see these in different presentations of this part.
Now, is there going to be any way for players of the same game to play together? Is there a mode where they can run around, or is this is a totally immersive just universe here for one?
Our main focus is first-person single-player campaign. That's our ultimate goal. But we do have an online component, which we're not ready to reveal right now.
Yes, sure.
But there's going to be something of interest. But we wanted to make sure that the single-player experience was the best it could be.
So what do you want fans, people who sit down and play this game, what do you want them to really focus in on and appreciate, kind of right off the bat?
I think one of the things that make Thief really stand out from all the other games is it's not about combat. You have it as an option, but the essence is it's a lot of different things. It's a lot of things, the alternatives you can find within it. It's how do you avoid conflict, or how do you make it work in your advantage? For example, if you ran into the light from the guards, you won't last very long. But if you wanted to take out, you need to work from the shadows, take out one guard, hide. And here you just saw the focus audio, which is something you can kind of trace the guards beyond where you can't see them. So you kind of get an idea where they are, but without giving you too much information. In the stealth, there's also a lot of clues. Like, how do you traverse this space? How do you make meaningful things where you can just run around and find clues of how to progress? In this case, you saw the map that the captain had showed a few weak spots in their defense that they're building up against this revolt.
There are some terrible things going on in this city. Are we going to be able to save these people? I mean, if I play as a good person, do I get a good resolution? If I play as a terrible person, does it...
So Garrett isn't exactly a hero. He's more like an anti-hero. So for him, it's more about who pays the most. Right? He's a working guy.
He's an American hero. Nice.
So what's important is what happens in the story is you have two factions, and you kind of get caught up in the middle. And this is kind of where he sees opportunities within this conflict, and this is one of the scenarios that he ends up in. So all these guards are all edged up to an incoming threat, so that's kind of what you experience from seeing from the sidelines what's going on in the city. And you're always there using voyeurism to kind of get this message across that the world is evolving independently of you.
The game looks incredible. You tell me it's hardly finished, so when can we expect to see this available?
So
obviously it's a PlayStation 4 game, so we have a little bit of waiting to do.
It's coming out in 2014.
Okay.
And it's on PS4, high-end PCs, and Xbox One.
And where can we keep up with it until it comes out?
Hashtag Master Thief, or I gotta remember the Facebook Thief, I believe.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for showing us this game. It looks absolutely
Thank you
incredible.
so
We got
much.
a great sneak peek here, and
Thank you guys.
thank you guys for watching.